Hi, I'm Will. Welcome to X Investigation. In a remote town, a cry shattered the calm. A boy fell into a deep well while playing. The narrow opening made rescue hard. Second by second, time slipped away. The boy's voice grew fainter. The situation was critical. Facing this dilemma, could the boy be saved? The drama unfolded in Sijic, Romania, a traditional, agriculture-driven village, known for grapes and plum brandy. Few residents, each with a yard. Almost every yard has a well, supplying daily water. A family of 4 lives here. The father, Nikolai Ruiu, is a vet, treating local livestock. But the livestock sector has declined. Livestock numbers keep dropping, so he lost his job a year before. Now he scrapes by with odd jobs. The mother works as a private caregiver, earning about 600 Romanian lei a month, just enough to keep the lights on. They have 2 sons. The younger, Gabriel, is 3, full of energy. They once tried cattle farming, but the downturn hit hard. Their herd fell from 500 to just 50. Cattle farming failed. They turned to herbs in the yard, hoping for extra income. April 13, 2013. It was a Saturday. 3-year-old Gabriel was playing with his brother outside. Their mother bent over, picking herbs. Suddenly, she heard a loud splash. She turned. Gabriel had vanished. In that instant, he stepped on the well cover and fell in with it. The well was about 15 m deep, roughly 4 or 5 stories. But the well opening is extremely narrow, only about 30 centimeters. Crying echoes from the bottom. The boy seems trapped deep down. His mother anxiously looks down, but she can see nothing. Helpless, he quickly calls for rescue. Soon after, fire and ambulance crews arrive. A rescue helicopter lands on nearby grass, ready to airlift the trapped boy. Rescuers assess his condition. He fell to a deep spot in the well. Water up to his waist, critical. Luckily, he's still conscious. He keeps crying, answering their calls. Concerned about low oxygen, they pump oxygen into the well to prevent him from passing out. The commotion spreads quickly, drawing the whole town's attention. People rush over to help. But a harsh reality remains. The shaft is simply too narrow. No adult can fit inside. Digging the well becomes the only option. Rescuers start excavating around the well, removing concrete pipe sections piece by piece, trying to get as close as possible to him. Each move carries risk. Fearing injury to the boy, they handle the pipes with extreme care. Progress is painstakingly slow. The digging sounds draw more and more onlookers. 2 small-stature locals volunteer to try descending, but when they reach the edge and see the bottom disappearing, they back off. No one dares to go down. The excavation crawls forward. The boy at the bottom is in dire danger. Then a teenager passes by, curious. His name is Christian Bechanu, 14 years old, a local student, and Gabriel's neighbor. Meet the family. The town's economy has been declining. Many families have fallen into poverty. Christine's family is no exception. From a very young age, Christine's parents divorced. Each started a new household. He lived with his 20-year-old brother and aging grandfather. His mother never returned after remarrying. His father only came by occasionally. Christine's father once worked for the local vineyard people, but later lost his job. The only steady income was the grandfather's meager pension of 400 yuan a month. Christian's brother couldn't find work. The father also relied on the pension to get by. Life was barely manageable. Then the grandfather fell ill and needed hospitalization, adding a huge expense. Christian had to help tend the livestock at home. Despite the hardship, he kept going to school. His classmates said he was shy but caring. Once helped a bike-riding classmate who fell and escorted him home. At 9, he helped rescue 4 people trapped in an overturned car. The accident happened while Christian was playing at a nearby field with friends. When they heard the helicopter roar, they knew something was wrong and rushed over out of curiosity. Adults at the scene told him 3-year-old Gabriel had fallen into a well, but the opening was too narrow to reach him. Christian didn't hesitate. He volunteered to go down and rescue. Christian was slight, shoulders only 29 centimeters wide, but his arms were strong. Theoretically, he was a good fit. Seeing the situation in the well, he didn't back down, yet he was still a minor. The rescue carried huge risk. It required parental consent. Christian replied. His parents weren't there. He could sign for himself. The rescue couldn't wait. Finally, without parental consent, the teenager bravely descended into the well to rescue. Before starting, they let Christian drill into the concrete pipe segment taken from the well to test if he could pass through. After succeeding, they fitted Christian with a headlamp, secured a safety rope around his waist, and tied another safety rope tightly to his ankle. Christian was a bit nervous, but his gaze was determined, listening to the rescuer's warnings. After all preparations, Christian tilted his head down and carefully entered the deep well. Ground crew lowered the rope inch by inch. Christian kept descending. The wind and rope friction hissed in his ears. Minutes later, he reached the trapped spot. Gabriel had already run out of strength to cry, crouched in the well, gasping, too scared to move. Christian quickly reached out, comforting him, saying he wasn't alone, that he was there to save him. Gabriel obeyed, extending his small hand, having soaked too long in the water. His hand was slippery. Christian gripped him tightly and signaled the crew above. Upon receiving the signal, the crew began pulling the rope up. Everyone focused on the rescue, under countless eyes. Christian's feet slowly emerged. Then his body was hauled up, cradling 3-year-old Gabriel in his arms. The rescue succeeded. The crowd erupted in applause and cheers. Gabriel's father rushed forward, snatching his son into a tight embrace, overcome with emotion. After more than 2 hours trapped, the boy finally saw daylight. He was then airlifted to the hospital. Doctors diagnosed a spinal injury. At the scene, Christian let out a long breath and gave a relieved smile, waving to the onlookers. Facing the reporters, Christian admits he felt nervous in the well, but all he could think of was saving the boy. He never considered giving up or fleeing. He now wants to become a firefighter and keep helping those trapped. Gabriel's family gathered around and hugged him tightly. The good news spread through the town. Christian became a teenage hero in everyone's eyes, showing courage beyond his years. 2 days later, Gabriel was discharged and went home, still wearing a neck brace. His cervical injury required further recovery. His parents bought him a bike to celebrate his safe return. It was the gift Gabriel had always wanted. Christian also visited their home to celebrate together. Gabriel's father, moved, said, "We'll treat Christian like our own son." Forever grateful for his risking his life to bring Gabriel back. The well was sealed after the incident. Gabriel's parents planted trees nearby to commemorate the dramatic rescue. Christian expected no reward, but his heroism spread quickly. Honors and donations poured in. His father swelled with pride. The county mayor awarded him the title Bravest Orthian, recognizing his courage in the rescue. The local education board gave him a certificate and a summer trip prize, praising him as a role model for youth. Many locals donated bicycles, tablets, and other items. Christian had never owned such things before. He felt a bit embarrassed, but his heart was full of gratitude. The most thrilling gift for him was the special present he received on Children's Day. Romania's National Emergency Situations Inspectorate awarded him an honor medal. The first time the agency gave this honor to an ordinary citizen, a moment of great significance when presenting the badge. Christian also received a firefighter's helmet, the best encouragement for his dream. To fundamentally improve the Christian family's plight, the authorities stepped in, allocating a plot of land, promising a brand new house by summer. 10 months later, the town settled back into calm, but eyes still lingered on Christian. A reporter interviewed him again, trying to gauge his current life. Christian still seemed shy, the intense attention making him uneasy. He said he still awaited the mayor's promised home, even though the family's finances hadn't improved. He kept studying, pushing toward his dreams. A year later, Christian won Romania's Star Award, an honor for those who never ignore others' hardships, recognizing ordinary people who reach out. It again praised Christian's kindness and courage, but the accolade didn't solve his real problems. The promised house still stood unfinished, and a year later the family fell into deeper debt, their only income the grandfather's pension. Christian had to sacrifice his studies, working day jobs, unable to attend school regularly. Their living conditions grew dire, lacking even enough wood for a winter fire. By October, they barely managed to install a door. But the roof still threatened to collapse. Even Gabriel's family, whom Christian once helped, now faced their own survival crisis, unable to offer financial aid. Their contact reduced to occasional street greetings. As time passed, Christian faded from the media, returning to an ordinary life, growing up fighting poverty. He's now a father himself, yet still without the promised house, and never became a firefighter. He works for an electricity company, earning a modest wage. He still hasn't gotten the promised new house, nor has he become a firefighter. Now he works at a power company, earning a meager wage. To support his family, he had to work himself to the bone. Even weekends he had to work. Little time with his wife and kids. Facing the crushing pressure, he just wants to wait until the kids are older, then leave home, go abroad and chase new job prospects. It's almost a desperate, all-or-nothing journey, but for a better future for his family, he has no choice. That resolve echoes his 14-year-old self, when he threw caution to the wind and risked his life to save others.